It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with ALLERGEX non-drowsy.
Yes, I'm Zanzi. Welcome back. My favorite day of the week. It's Health Tuesdays, of course, on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're going to dive back into some good conversation related to this. Now, as adults, when we have allergies, it can leave us feeling ill and miserable. So just imagine how kids must feel. I mean, come on, poor little buggers. Now, figuring out what your kids need and what is best for them when it comes to allergies can be a challenge. But thankfully, the doctor's in the house. We've got Dr. Anisa Vahed, who is here to help us out when it comes to our allergies. Firstly, good morning. How are you doing, Doc?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me back.
You look lovely. You look
Thank
radiant.
you.
And
Thank
you look allergy-free right now, so
Yes,
that's a good thing.
definitely all dosed up on my antihistamines.
But let's talk about allergies exactly, because I can imagine it's quite different when it comes to kids versus adults and allergy treatment specifically.
Yes.
Is there an actual difference, or is it quite similar?
It is quite similar and different, yes and no,
Yeah.
especially with kids. I think, obviously, they are much more smaller than us adults, and with adults, we tend to be able to avoid the triggers. So if we want to avoid that banana and the peanut, we'll easily avoid it. And with kids, they don't. They see that peanut butter sandwich in their schools, in their lunchbox from their friend, and they will eat it. And trying to avoid those kind of triggers for them is much more trickier. And also with them, a huge role for them, especially a huge thing that kind of involves this whole allergy system, is immune system. So what happens is that when they're born, their immune system is very immature, and as they get older, it evolves.
Yes.
So as they get older, their anatomy evolves also, it gets bigger, and all those signs change. So as they're kind of getting older and older, it eventually gets into the same treatment as adults, but you've got to watch and see how they do.
Got to watch and keep monitoring. What then would be, in terms of, let's say, kids, what are some of the factors that affect kids when it comes to allergies?
So factors that can kind of cause like triggers, especially in allergies, children, I could be that melodramatic mom and say, you know what, it's everything. It's in our environment, and it is.
Yeah.
We're going into pollen season. It's in our air, so smoke exposure. Something simple as a temperature change or the weather changing. So in Cape Town, the weather's going up and down. Everyone's chest is going crazy. We can go into food allergies. We can even go into like animal dander. So like all our pets, they can actually trigger allergies later on in life. And even something such as medications. So different medications and preservatives in foods that can actually trigger allergies in children.
Wow. I mean, you obviously mentioned those triggers with allergies as well. Is it possible then, I mean, you mentioned that we have these weaker immune systems, or they're developing immune systems as we get older. Is it possible to kind of like outgrow an allergy?
It is. So
nice.
we
Yes.
can actually, it can happen naturally. So it obviously depends, like we see it with little infants with cow's milk protein allergy. They can outgrow it by the age of 2 and 3. But it obviously depends on the type of allergy and the severity of it. So with peanuts, if you've got a very roaring allergy, unlikely to grow out of it. But you get assessed, and then you see from there what exactly what will happen.
All right. Well, you established allergies. I think I'm pretty certain as to what triggers it and what it's all about. What is there, or is there a solution when it comes to trying to tackle allergies when it comes to, especially, let's say, kids? Because, I mean, it seems like they need it a little bit more than adults, because adults can kind of steer away from some of those triggers. Are there any solutions for kids?
So if I think about solutions, I'm thinking about prevention as number one. If we can try and prevent those allergies, that's like end goal. Obviously, we can't really avoid those genetics. So if you've got it in the family history, sorry, listen, you might be predisposed to getting it. But if we can lead healthy lifestyles, so our pregnant, our breastfeeding moms, avoid that smoke exposure, eat healthily, and even when we're trying to wean the children onto foods, trying to give them a diverse, healthy diet, especially in that first year of life, can actually give them an end goal. And then obviously at the end of it, if you've got those allergies, go for those routine health checkups. Let us pediatricians screen those children at those routine checkups. Let's diagnose it early so that we can actually avoid that unnecessary antibiotic use and get into the proper treatment right away and avoid going to that multi-pharmacy that you're going to have at home and those multi-drugs at home.
Speaking of pharmacy, I think there's something really cool that we do on the show. We celebrate pharmacies in the community through an initiative from Adcock Ingram's OTC, sponsors of Brave. And maybe you can maybe be a bit more elaborative here and say, what exactly does Brave mean to you when it comes to the impact that they have, when it comes to celebrating these pharmacies that are kind of looking out for solutions to assist people, maybe when it comes to allergies themselves?
So I really love this platform, and I love it because if I think about being brave, we learn how to be brave by watching someone have the courage to do something they wouldn't normally do. And me as a pediatrician, we know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. So having this platform to actually kind of raise and celebrate those heroes in our local community, it's great because we can actually show off those role models and tell these younger kids, listen, these are the role models that's in your community. Try and kind of aspire to be like them one day.
Setting the bar. And you've definitely set the bar here this morning. I can't thank you enough for coming through, and a beautiful education session when it comes to allergies, of course. But I think for you, Mzansi, as well, kids are definitely beautiful, and they are a handful as well. So there's no need to let allergies add to the troubles. So if you have a little one struggling with allergies, then you can definitely speak to your pharmacist. And remember, September is National Pharmacy Month, and self-care is a human right, and your pharmacist is your partner, right? So support your local pharmacy. They are a pillar of your community. They're looking out for you. And this was all brought to you by ALLERGEX Non-Drowsy in proud association with Adcock Ingram's OTC, sponsors of Brave. And I love what they're doing, building communities one pharmacy at a time. And on top of that, don't forget, you stand a chance, Mzansi, to get in on the action. You can win a 2,000 Rand take-a-lot voucher daily. If you're wondering how that gets done, here's how.
Spring is glory. Oh, bless you, man. Bless you. Unless you suffer from allergies. But that has all changed with ALLERGEX Non-Drowsy and the wonders of spring competition on Expresso this September.
So stand a chance to win a daily giveaway Monday to Friday of a 2,000 Rand take-a-lot voucher to spend on the best outdoor living gear.
I love that. So answer the weekly question on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages and include that all-important ALLERGEX ND. The competition runs from the 1st till the 28th of September, and those terms and conditions do apply. Good luck and bless you, man.